Sorry, I'm sorry I'm late. I meant to take a break and then come back a couple hours later, but hi. I was. It turns out that I was mistaken. Both endings from the choice we're about to make carry you through to the end of the game, and they're both the same length. So we're not gonna do both right now. We're just gonna do the canon one.
I'm coming, Mia.
Hmm. See you. stimulants away and the gunpowder and the crank. The crank.
Mia. Zoe? Zoe,
Not now. We don't have the time. Do you have both ingredients?
Right here. There should be enough, right?
If we make them fast enough, my father and Lucas aren't far away.
He's coming. Daddy's coming.
Good. There's enough for two.
So after we make the serum, what's next?
There's a boat outside. We'll take it through the swamp. But neither of us will get very far without the serum. Hey, one of those is mine.
Hi. Hello.
Zoe, get your ass back to the house. I will deal with you later. It's bad enough. Now you're pulling against me with my own blood.
This is getting old, Jack.
I want to kill you. Mia. Poor thing. You think I'm going to just let that time?
How did this catch on fire? don't know where the weak point is anymore. Hey, we're just talking to Paw Paw.
Fuck you.
That's probably a little loud now that I think about it. So in my memory, the bad ending where you give the serum to Zoe was shorter than the regular ending, but I learned that that's not true, so I'm not gonna be doing both endings right now.
You're part of the family now.
This is exactly like most Southern reunions. What happened is that you still have to go through the flashback sequence with Mia, but Mia kills Zoe under the influence of Evelyn, and she's not able to break free, so you have to kill her.
Now, I've seen everything.
Ethan, this way.
All I said was that I didn't like your gumbo.
Use the serum on him.
You want me to cure him?
The flashback to Mia feels like DLC that got folded into the main game somehow. It goes on too long,
Yeah.
but I guess we're gonna see that.
Mia's waiting for us.
We also could have taken that briefcase in the old house that had the other gross baby in it, but I'm not an expert. Man, I'm really screwed.
I had to use one of them.
I wonder.
Left.
There's only one left. There can't just be one left. What the hell are we gonna do now?
We'll do the canon one, even though I think Zoe deserves it more. Canonically, curing Mia gets everybody a happier ending. Because this is all Mia's fault.
It was foolish thinking I could escape. But Zoe... Go! Both of you just go! Come with us. I'm sure there's someone who can help.
This is my home. Apparently I belong here.
I'll send help.
Don't bother. There won't be anyone left to help!
No, that's what pissed me off. Because I'm not trying to be like, oh, the woman is wrong, like fandom likes to do, but like, You know how, like, in fandoms, frequently the woman will be hated more than the villain because the woman was rude one time? I'm not trying to be like that. But Mia...
Ethan? Thank you.
Who the hell else was I gonna choose?
Ethan.
Mia, I know you've been through a lot. We need to talk. You had something to do with all this, didn't you? Look, I just want to know the truth.
Ethan, I honestly don't remember.
Try. Is that the boat? How the fuck did that get here? Oh, you're okay. What the hell was that? What the fuck? What is that? What is that?
I don't know if you remember this, but we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. At the very end, when Chris shows up in the main game, even the Resident Evil wiki was operating under the assumption that that was a fake Chris, that wasn't really Chris because he looks different. Until the DLC came out, they were saying that that was not Chris Redfield, just someone called Chris Redfield, or like an Umbrella operative. And it was like, I think now is a weird time to draw a line about characters looking different every 5 minutes. Hey, buddy.
Ethan? Ethan! Ah! Ethan! Ethan!
And it was weird to me because Brick Shithouse Chris Redfield was kind of controversial at the time when they did that in RE5, but when they got rid of it, everybody got upset. That boulder punching asshole.
What was that?
You know what that was, Mia. You've been here. Now, Mia is definitely a war criminal. Everything that they were doing in this ship unbelievably illegal.
The engine room. What the fuck are you talking about? She killed them all. Fuck. What the hell is going on? We need some weapons. Is there any weapons on this ship? I don't know, but let's go this way. Maybe we can get out of here.
RE7 actually has a pretty robust assortment of DLC and bonus game modes, so I do want to go through those before we do anything else. Before we move on to RE8. In addition to the DLC campaigns. Because the DLC campaigns for RE7 also got delayed because they were going to release them one at a time, but then I forget what happened. And they just released them all at once in the gold package. Ed Carlisle. Hi. I gave up on looking for the little bobbleheads. I don't care anymore. I know, man. It's like that sometimes.
Settle down, little girl. Settle.
Are you remembering?
What? What are you?
You said we could be a family.
What are you talking about?
You said!
Wait!
I'm tired of waiting.
Oh dear. Those goopy assholes. I need you guys to chill out. Dear Janet. Ew. It's mainly the fact that there's that entire flashback sequence on on the ship that feels like it's just dragging the game out.
Watch it.
What? Why?
You need to remember, so we can be a family.
Sure.
Alan, you're getting worse.
She must have infected me during the attack. And I'm too far gone anyway. But it serves me right. It's my fault she got out.
Yeah,
Oh no, his Apple Watch is fucked up.
but that doesn't mean I'm gonna let you die.
She didn't attack you.
It's part of her imprinting protocol. I can't believe this is happening.
One of the things I do like about the first person perspective is that you can simulate autism by looking away from people when they talk.
You find her. You fix this.
Okay, Evie, where are you?
Recent support suggests that if Evelyn remains at her current location, she is at high risk of being stolen.
She's close.
Hey there, Chief. Oh. Oh. but this specifically feels like DLC. Even though it's kind of short, it just doesn't feel, it just feels like it's interrupting the flow. Hello. Goodbye. One second, please. Thank you. Third time's the charm of doing this loop. Oh, I see. I'm stupid.
She's vomiting. Damn, I'll have to reset.
How's it going?
She's vomiting. Far more in excess of her body mass.
Oh, great. We're gonna be seeing a lot more of her ugly friends if this keeps up. All right, we need to find her, and fast. This is getting out of hand.
Agreed.
Getting out of hand. Oh, hi. His tummy hurts, but he's being brave about it. Hey, come back here. Hello? Nope. Fucking supplements.
Alan, I think she's on the other side of this door. But I don't have a key.
Try to melt down the lock. You're on the bottom level, right? Check our luggage.
Are you mad at me, Mommy?
No, Evie, I'm not mad. Wait, what did you call me?
I don't want to live at the lab anymore. I want a house. And I want you to be my mommy.
Okay, Evie. I'll be your mommy. Just come back with me. Right now, okay? Where are you, Evie?
Fucking Mia.
Evie, wait!
Did you find her?
Yes, but she ran off. She's making more friends, Alan. Those things are everywhere.
I told you so.
Are you okay?
You just worry about getting Evelyn back.
hell no.
Emergency safety lockdown system has been engaged.
I feel very safe right now. Feel like that's not going to do anything, but I want to try. Nope. Let's try down first. Hey, we're still here.
How did you get here?
Where's Evie?
She's out of control. Without the treatments, she's deteriorating.
Well, it's a good thing we're already dying.
Don't say that.
She trusts you. That little bitch, she never trusted. Okay, wait. Evie, no, Evie, Evie.
Alan,
I didn't mean to
listen.
call you that.
She's
Evie, I
trying
didn't
to
mean- I
take
didn't mean-
control. You
Hey,
have
Div.
to fight her.
He said a bad word, and now he's getting it.
Evelyn, stop! Stop right
We're
now!
we're killing time waiting for RE9 to come out. I just think that flashback really really hurts the flow of the story. Well, their ideas for what to do with the series changed a lot. Because after, I think, RE2, there was an idea that they were going to release a main game every year. RE2, RE3, and then there was going to be, I believe, a Revelations 3 in 2021, and then Village, and then RE4 remake. They gave up on this idea when it turned out to be work, but... Now, what I was wondering is if anyone watched the live-action Netflix series, because I'm almost positive the answer is no. If you tell me that you watched that, I'm not going to believe you.
Ethan. You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have. All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
That was
Forget
like
that you ever
well
knew
after like we as a species stood up and said that we deserved better adaptations, and we started to get some. And then RE Netflix comes in with Lance Reddick as Wesker, or whatever the shit it was doing. That's not me talking shit about Lance Reddick. It's me talking shit about what are they doing. We love Lance Reddick here. I have a lot of evidence to back that up. Okay.
We'll be together forever.
That guy was ready. It's incredible how the camera got this angle. This was all supposed to be filmed, don't you know?
Now do you remember?
Yes, Evelyn. I remember.
Can we be a family like before?
No, Evie. We can't be a family. We were never a family. We will never be a family.
Then I don't need you anymore.
I think that instinct is going to lead you astray. I also, around that same time, there was that movie, Welcome to Raccoon City, that no one believes me, or no one seems to remember that movie came out, because they always look at me weird when I mention it. I didn't see it. Because I know better. I still maintain that this whole ship sequence feels like DLC. But honestly, I would have rather watched one of the Milla Jovovich ones than that one. Because at least, like, you can just tell yourself that it's its own thing at that point, which it really is. I'm not a fan of the style of adaptations where the director clearly doesn't care about the thing it's adapting and is just doing its own thing. I'm not a fan of that. But there's a purity to it when Paul W.S.S. Anderson was doing. I haven't seen any of them. Roland Emmerich didn't and doesn't care about Godzilla, but he agreed to do it if he just got to do whatever he wanted. Open the door with a corrosive. Down we go. As I recall, it's more fun. It's more fun in the Zoe DLC when you revisit the ship. That part is more fun, as I recall. Just because I like that DLC and how you're punching the monsters and throwing spears at them and shit.
Maybe it still works.
You ready for a jump scare?
Ethan. bottom level.
Liar!
Stop it, Evelyn! Fucking hallucinations. Where is she?
I actually think that the twist about Evelyn and where she is, where she's been during the events of the game, is actually pretty well handled. Even though there's a file relatively, like, I think we still that file is still a bit a ways, but I think it gives that twist away a little too early. But I think that that's actually a pretty well executed twist. Oh my god. Twitch blocked a spam message. Incredible work. Let me block him anyway, real quick. It's easy to forget, because I always forget until I'm playing it, that Mia is actually playable for a segment of this game. And I always forget that Chris Redfield is playable in Village for a moment. Because they don't have to render shit, because it's first person. The cable is completely fried. So this is the point where I think where it's first explicitly mentioned that it's canon to the rest of the games, because otherwise there's nothing to really indicate that. I know Alyssa Ashcroft has a headline you can read, but I don't count that as being an explicit continuity tie-in. I've never actually played Code Veronica, so I might do that after 7. What? I do think that, because I think all of the games after 7 adopt the thing where it shows you if there's items that you haven't collected in a room, and I think that that's just universally better. Hang on. That was completely necessary, I assure you. Evie's upstairs? Where does it... Oh, sorry. Person mans can't read. So I think the quick way is actually to go through the elevator and go up the ladder. Of the games where you spend too long in a tanker, Metal Gear Solid 2 is the far superior one. I hate these guys, like, a lot. But I think we'll do Code Veronica as a palate cleanser. Because I think, let me see. It's now the 18th, so I think we'll get through Village too quick and still have some time left over. I've never actually played it. He was coming after my butt. I know the story of it, sort of, but I haven't played it. The thing that I think is interesting is that it's become, like, almost universally accepted. Like, people will just repeat this, that the kid that is, like, hanging out with Claire in Code Veronica was intended to be Leon initially, and there's basically no way that that's true, but people just say it, and it is funny to think about, even though I don't believe that for a second. I don't think anyone involved with the development of that game has ever said that. Thank God for that antique coin. I love even though it's not true, and I refuse to believe it ever was, the idea of them bringing back Leon so they can do him that dirty is so funny. Do you know how mad people would have been if that was Leon? And there's no way that it's true, because the various, like, the lengthy development cycle of RE4, which was always going to star Leon, like, was like, already underway at that point, by the time they were making Code Veronica. there's one version of RE4 that was not going to star Leon, and that's the one that was basically turned into Devil May Cry. But other than that, it was always intended to star Leon. Open the door. What do we have here? We need to find a fuse. I know that people were criticizing this game for its enemy variety, which I think is kind of not meeting the game where it's at. Because that's kind of not the point. And also, personally, all of the enemy variety that this game does have pisses me off. So I'm okay with it the way it is. And we need to find a fuse that I don't know where it is. Let's put the antique coin away. And save right here. I'm hoping that we can get to the end of this game in the next hour. Because after you switch back to Ethan, there's actually not that much of the game left. I will I've streamed RE3 Remake on here before, so it hasn't been that long since I played it, but I do want to play RE3 Remake again to give it a fair shake, even though I feel like I'm gonna come away with the same takeaway. Because I just think that the way Nemesis is actually implemented is disappointing, and is not on par with Mr. X in the 2 remake, or even really Nemesis in the original. Oh, we need to take this fuse, that's right. Down here. Oh. S2, here we go.
He's waiting.
I also, something I forgot is that in the the first part of the house, you see a picture of Sean, and the description goes, "You don't know him, but he looks like an asshole." If that ain't the best read anyone's ever had. Give me 1 second. I wonder. I don't want to go in there. Who would ever go in here?
I need you to do something.
1 second. Let me lower that, move the mic closer.
Ethan.
Ethan didn't deserve this.
Ethan? Ethan? Hey, shh, I know. I'm not gonna hurt you. Hell, I never would have if I could have helped you.
What do you mean?
I'm no killer, son. Neither is Marguerite, nor my boy Lucas.
Oh, his name is Lucas. I thought his name was Sean for some reason.
That girl, Evelyn,
Lucas actually is
she did this.
a psychopath and a killer outside of this.
What did she do to you? She infected us with her gift. That's what she calls it. I found her near a busted out tank in the bayou.
He just looks like a Sean. I don't know.
Everything changed after that.
So she infects you and then she takes control?
No. Not exactly, son. She just... She forces her way into your mind, your soul.
Lucas, whose entire personality is that he saw the movie Saw.
You are connected
One time.
to her, and you can't resist the urge to... Oh, you're a different person after that.
Just like Mia. So Mia sent me that message because of Evelyn.
Listen, the girl just wants a family of her own. She's the key. All right? You find her, and you stop her. Ethan. Free my family. Please.
Evelyn. Stay away from him.
Why? He doesn't love you. I can make him love you.
Don't hurt him.
Silly, I told you I'm not gonna hurt him.
Don't you dare.
So what? You're not my mommy. Remember?
Mia, how?
There's no time. You have to get out of here and find her. Here. Take this.
What? Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Saving your life. You need to
So I believe that what the bad ending, the other ending is that during this part, she can't fight Evelyn's control, and you have to kill her.
Mia! No!
I think that's the, and then the ending, Ethan is alone, and I think that that's the main thing.
Okay, you little bitch. Where the fuck are you?
Ethan, chill out. Cooler heads need to prevail. One second. It keeps whenever I get an achievement, it for some reason brings it into windowed mode instead of full screen. I don't know why. But we're very close to the end. I think the other reason that people like didn't believe that that was the real Chris Redfield is because he's displayed as like taking orders from Umbrella, and that because the DLC was delayed, we didn't get an elaboration on that for quite some time. It's obviously more complex than that, but Twan and Beckford are dead, and Huxley will never walk on his own again. Are they watching us from that helicopter?
Alpha 1, this is Bravo 1. Do you read?
This is Alpha 1. Report. Did you find anything?
A thorough search of the Baker property revealed 0 survivors. Repeat, 0 survivors. We did find evidence of a skirmish.
Evelyn?
Negative. However, we did find several encrypted messages from the Baker's son Lucas to an unknown third party. You can probably guess who that was.
That's just great. We've had reports using the abandoned mine south of the property. I'm gonna go have a look.
Roger that. We'll meet you at those coordinates.
If you encounter Evelyn, orders are shoot to kill. Repeat, shoot to kill.
You've taken me as things. Fuck yeah. I think something like that. She's also retroactively like the mentor of what's his name, Spencer, the person that created Umbrella. The whole Miranda thing is like kind of the weakest part of that game. Let's save one last time. The parts that are trying to like connect Village to the overall lore and make it important are like the weakest parts in my opinion. Hey. So tomorrow, or I guess actually tomorrow, around the evening, we'll do the DLC, or as much of it as we can. It like part of it's because you don't actually see Miranda until near the end, until like right at the very end. But like she's just was always less interesting to me than like any of her lieutenants or Duke. I love Duke. Duke is great. Hey, Afternoon Tune, you just made it for the big finale. I am. That's why we're doing this. I'm gonna get it as soon as it comes out. We're killing time waiting for RA9 to come out. These spider guys are the ones I hate the most. We'll do Village, but I've beaten... it took me 3 days to stream this game, so I feel like it might be kind of short and not take us through to the 28th. So, I'm not sure what else we'll play. We might play Code Veronica or 4 Remake. Get away from me. That was on me. That was stupid as shit. Ethan, you klutz. I might actually play Revelations 1 and 2 instead of RE4. I don't know how long those are supposed to be. Okay, maybe not Revelations 2, unless I can get a partner. We'll see. If you have it, assuming it's on the PlayStation, I might ask you if co-op would be doable, but we can talk about that off screen. Hello? Thank you for waiting so patiently for me to be done. Resident Evil Revelations 2 was episodic, if I'm not mistaken. That's all I really know about it. I watched one of the animated movies, the CG ones, but I don't remember which one it was. It had Leon in it. It was like 15 years ago that I watched it, so it must have been an early entry. There's so much Resident Evil. I didn't see that. I'm making Ethan look real stupid. I was reading a bunch of the early Wildstorm comics, which are like one of the studios that founded Image Comics and later got folded into DC. They have like the Wildcats and the Authority. But I was reading a bunch of early ones, and there are ads in the scans I was reading for a Wildstorm Resident Evil comic that I haven't read. Let's make some herbs. It's about a week since my head's been clear and back to normal. That bitch Mia. That gives away the twist, like in the last in the last like 10 minutes. That's, yeah, it's a really good game. I'm not reading all that. So what I was saying is that because we were supposed to start getting a Resident Evil game every year, that probably a lot of the story they were setting up was intended to feed into those. I don't think there was any. I remember looking it up on the Resident Evil wiki, but I don't think there was ever any info on the story presented for the Revelations 3 idea. Or at least nothing released to the public. Hi. Bye. We're so close. Oh shit. I'll try to stop by. But you know, but yeah. Man. Oh, okay. Then never mind. The burner, the flamethrower is kind of limited use outside of the bug house. It works if you got nothing else, but like I would ideally like, you know, different ammo. In the bug house, basically every other kind of weapon is useless. You're just, or you're either using the flamethrower or just swinging your knife around like an idiot. Isn't it good that I saved right before that? Because it crashed. I'm waiting for Steam to log in. Give me a second. Okay. Bear with me, fam. It's deciding to be slow. Steam is deciding to be slow, loading back up, so give me a second. It crashed at basically the last possible point. Thank you. I know Steam doesn't like it when you do this, but I think I'm gonna have to open it up from Windows Explorer. I might have to give me a second. I'm gonna restart my PC. Hello. Give me a second. We are live to the best of my knowledge. Sorry about all that. They don't want us to succeed. I forgot about that crazy intro this game has. Grandma's loose.
I'm sure of it. It's not here. It's gone. It's gone!
I'm not really a collector's edition type of person. Basically everything nowadays just starts when you boot up without asking. Hello? Anyway. I don't think that Ethan needs a reminder of that. I think he was here.
This is your fault.
Why am I seeing this?
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Kill him, Mommy.
But you shouldn't have done that! It fucking hurt!
Does it want to be my daddy? Then he can die. Now it's Mommy's turn to kill you.
I mean, she was probably cool outside of her job, but that's kind of a deal breaker once you learn about it.
Ethan, help me.
It's almost like Mia's rewarded for her for like what she did. Because, like, James in Silent Hill 2, you get the, aside from the later reveal, you just genuinely get the impression that he has nothing else in his life. But Ethan has, like, friends, at least one friend that he's talking to. Where are we trying to get to?
Leave me to die.
Where the fuck are you?
That's how I feel.
You're gonna be one of us. And then maybe you'll play nicely.
I'm not playing.
No! Get that away from me!
Leave me.
Now I think we go back upstairs. Hi. Bye.
Get away!
Well, I haven't played it, but I have it installed. I was gonna play it after this as part of the DLC package. Because they talked about this. They talked about the demo and how it was like they were ready to reveal Resident Evil 7, and then PT comes out, right? And then they feel like they're kind of screwed because now it looks like they're copying PT, even though they came up with the idea independently, and PT was never going to be in first person, or Silent Hills was not going to be in first person. It was just for the teaser. I almost exclusively don't use the guarding. In this game. She was grandma the whole time.
Why does everyone hate me?
Well, grandma, you did say that shit at Thanksgiving that one time. Now she's beautiful. Now she's the ultimate grandma.
Just wanted a family.
I picked Mia because it's the canon ending, but I would have actually... But if it was up to me, I would have picked Zoe because Zoe is actually the victim here. But we're going for the good canon ending. I guess he doesn't say he's Chris Redfield,
The fuck took you guys so long?
but it was weird that the wiki just refused to believe that this was Chris Redfield, so they just wrote it down as like a different character.
Ethan?
Mia doesn't deserve a happy ending.
You made it. I'm glad.
Did I?
They say that when one door closes, another opens. Well, a door closed tonight. And what a long night it was. But not just for me. Me and I weren't the only victims here. So were the Bakers. It was that thing, Evelyn, who made them that way. But now Evelyn's dead. And these guys are here to clean up the mess. I had just come to terms with losing Mia. But now she's back and wants to start over. Put all this behind us.
I mean,
Maybe this is where the next door opens.
I wouldn't have been in this situation because I wouldn't have gone. But no, we're not. I'm filing for a divorce. No, they said that the that Rose DLC for Village was intended to close the door. Was intended to close the Winter Saga. We'll close that and this. Let's look at our stats here. I restarted 14 times. 6.5 hours. I collected 18 of the coins. 31 of 32 files. Yeah. Let's see. It's been, I can't see how long the stream has been, but it's been roughly 2.5 hours. Let me double check that no one I know is streaming real quick. No. I thought someone would be, but in that case, we'll just call it right there. But thank you, Sage, and thank you, Afternoon Tune, for keeping me company while I beat that, even though my computer conspired to stop us. But yeah, that was RE7. We'll be doing the DLC next, and yeah. Everybody take easy and stay safe.